all the contract bottling for all the other brands.
So what we just saw, 3 to 4 days, then we'll go see the 3 to 4 years. Largest that we can go up to and that we have gone up to.
So we're finally here at the Bardstown Bourbon Company in Bardstown, Kentucky. Before this, we went to the Heaven Hill Distillery, and we're here for a tour to see what sort of bottling lines and what sort of rickhouses they have. They're gonna give us a nice tour. My connect here, I'm about to meet her, and it's gonna be a fun day today. Hey, Caitlin? Perfect.
Good
Arnav.
Nice to meet you, Arnav.
These are my business partners. That's Shannon.
Shannon, nice to meet you. AJ.
Gotcha. I'm Shannon. Oh. Nice to meet you.
This is where our general public tour would start. So public tours are Wednesday through Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you'll try some of the core 4 series. I keep wanting to call it Origin because that was the previous name, but a little bit more brand centric. But either way, when you start the tour, get a beautiful view of the campus. And everywhere that we've walked to so far didn't exist when we first got started. So we are just shy of being 10 years old. So we started distilling in September of 2016. So back then we were a fraction of the size. We were essentially just a small portion of the distillery and a rick house. So as you can see, just driving in, walking around, have grown.
The Bardstown
quite a
Company
bit.
itself is started 2016?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, you guys have grown very fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are you guys going to do a
before
10-year
that?
release?
Nothing here, no. It was just cornfields here.
Wow.
And
kinda
it was
crazy.
like 2012, broke ground in 2014, and started being operational 2016. So very, very quick come up and seeing all these rick houses. There's 14 total here on this campus, and across the street we purchased 200 acres for some more rick houses to be built.
Some more.
Yeah, some more.
A
Yeah,
lot
a lot
more,
more.
yeah.
Yeah. Probably mid-30s or so, but it's normally about every 3 to 4 months that we're completing a rick house, just with the way that distilling is, keeping them filled up. But a little over 700,000 barrels on the campus right now.
Wow.
So a couple barrels.
a lot.
Yeah. And then about 90% of the business that we do here between distilling, bottling, aging, both here and Green River is contract. So I didn't really introduce myself well, but Caitlin, I'm on the contract sales team here at Bardstown and Green River. So representing more of those aged barrel, new fill barrel sales, storage, bottling, the likes of all of that. So that is the majority of what keeps us running here and kind of why we got started in 2016 as
So
well.
I realize the barrels are kept on its side. Is that standard for bars? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's unique. I haven't seen that much.
Because it's less efficient, right? You can, if you palletize, you can store more barrels.
Yeah, you can fit more. A lot of it too. This is the traditional way of aging. There's a little bit more airflow. Palletizing, we do have some palletized warehouses in Green River. Just the aging is slightly different, a little bit slower that we've noticed on some, like 6 months to a year, which isn't biggest deal breaker if you're going to be aging it for a long time anyway. But yeah, standard rick house system there.
Oh wow.
Cool.
That's cool.
It's amazing.
Of course.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's called ricking.
I'm excited for the weekend.
And then is this all of your first time here?
It is my first time. Yeah, I think all of us. So when you guys first started, a lot of distilleries either rely on restaurants or they will rely on other sources for their income. Did you guys source barrels, or was it more so because you need time for the whiskey to age?
Yeah, so from the start we were doing contract distillation, so Mass out of the business, always doing that. But for the brand side, the first couple of years they were sourcing some barrels
Okay.
for the Bardstown brand itself. And then Bardstown came out with their sole release in 2022 that was 6 years old. So that's mostly standard for brands, but from the start we've had contract whiskey available.
Starting off with a 6-year-old. That's good.
So the Bardstown brand has only been for 4 years where you've seen releases?
From the
brand name?
With the core series, that's 100% Bardstown. Before then, they did collaboratives or sourcing different bourbons and whiskeys and doing finishings and stuff. The collaborative series was one of the first that they've did. Yeah, Copper and Kings was the first release, and I'll show you guys the vintage whiskey library in a little bit. The Copper and Kings.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Copper and Kings one is in there. That's the first bottle that we ever released. It's a different bottle shape and everything. This here is just an homage to our founder, Pete Lofton. Pete sadly passed away in 2019, so just when the operation was really starting to take off and grow. But Pete got his start in telecommunications in the 80s. That was his background. So not a ton to do with bourbon. It was just kind of a side hobby / investment for him. So that's really how this place got started. He was sourcing, making whiskey at other facilities, but at that time, making custom bourbon wasn't really a common thing. You were given a recipe or two and told to take your pick, and you kind of do with what you were given. So him and a couple buddies got together and decided, what if we make a small distillery in the middle of Bardstown just to do some contract stuff? Yeah, just to make some fun bourbon and whiskey. And a lot of people took on to it because it was one of the first of its kind, making custom recipes in the amounts that you would like. So from 2016, sold out contract capacity, and we've done 2 major expansions since then in 2019 and 2024. So yeah, starting at roughly 25,000 barrels or so when we first started. Now, if we're running at full capacity, we can do around 180, 190,000 barrels per year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like I'm surprised. To doing other distillery tours, you kind of get the same information. So I'll just point out the different customizations that we can offer here. So right outside we have our grain mill. The cool thing about Bardstown with how automated we are, I mentioned our story in 2016, wanting to be a little bit more unique, making custom mash bills. We can make up to 60 different custom mash bills per year. Probably more if we get the request for it, but I think at any given time, 57 different recipes in a year is what we have done. So that darker gray building back there, that's what we completed in 2024. That added us about a 60,000 barrel capacity, mostly for contract. So right now we're doing rum over there, and then bourbon over here. We're making it a 2-week lag just because the sugar content in the rum, we want to make sure we can clean all the equipment piping in between each batch so we don't accidentally mesh them. Mesh them or get any similar or different ingredients together. But after about 4 hours of cooking, they'll be cooled down in these cooling pipes here, sent to our fermentation tanks to begin that process.
Interesting. So the yeast and the grain go in here and they're heated, and then they get the enzymes over here, or how does that work?
Opposite.
Okay.
Yeah, enzymes will cook in and then add the yeast as it's filling up into these 13,500 gallon fermentation tanks. So very, very large. So we have a total of 32 fermentation tanks in this building, and we have 16 more on the secondary campus there.
How long does it stay in here typically before
3 days.
it's ready to go back?
Yeah, 3 days, so right around 72 hours. We'll fill it up to about 18 inches below the top. If it's rye whiskey or heavy rye content, a little bit lower. First, I don't know the chemistry behind it. I have a business degree, but for some reason, rye is a little bit more volatile. It gets a little bit more frothy and bubbly. If you fill it up too high, it'll spill over the sides, and it's 2 stories and graded flooring here, so it wouldn't be the most fun job in the world.
Yeah.
3-day process, and since we have so many of them and everything's computerized, at any given time when it's running in here, there will usually always be one being filled, one being drained, and one being steam cleaned. It's a perfect lag, and then we'll get it into the still room to make that moonshine, white dog, white lightning, whatever fun word you want to call it. But depending on the recipe, like I said, rye is filled a little bit lower, but you can generally get 30 to 35 barrels of product out of one fermentation tank. And this is our beer well, so it's a larger fermentation tank, essentially where it doesn't stay too long. It just goes right from here, connected to the column still room. Like I mentioned, everywhere has our engineering software to keep track of every single variable. So these are two 36-inch column stills. Each still has 20 total plates in it, top and bottom. Right here you can see the plate has a ton of really, really small holes in it just for alcohol vapor and liquid to travel through. So that cooked, cooled, fermented mash that is done is going to be sent to the top of the stills, and by sheer force of gravity that mash is going to fall down in a snake-like pattern across the plates. As it's falling down, there's steam rushing from the bottom of the still, separates the alcohol vapor from the rest of that spent grain essentially. So the slot or spent grain will fall down, alcohol vapor rises above our heads. Those collar cylinders that you see there, those are our copper condensers. It's going to condense that alcohol vapor back into liquid. So that liquid is your first round of distillate, your low wine. And normally, just for visual purposes, when it's running, it would be on the left side here. But the thing about low wine, it's not as be not as pure as you want it to be before it enters into the barrel. So us and most other distilleries are are going to put it through that secondary system, usually touching copper. So below where we're standing, we'll see it in the restaurant too, we have 2 copper doublers. Copper is a very good element when it comes in contact with alcohol to purify it, release it of oils, sulfides, and it will also up the proof. So after it's done with that second round there, on the right side, you have your high wine. It's normally about 10 proof points higher than your low wine. So we'll normally do 120 for low wine, 130 for high wine. We'll proof it down in our barreling. Yeah, but everything that we just saw is around 3.5 day process. And then after barreling, that's it. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, however many years people want to do it.
So you guys don't use a column still?
What is it?
You guys don't use a pot still?
No. Well, the copper doubler acts as a similar agent with that copper, but no. With the only, not the only, but that I've noticed, single malt, of course, very, very good in a pot still. We've run some single malt in the past. I just know it runs a little bit more efficiently. What's louder than anything is those 2 large banners you see right in front of you. We're really happy that we're some barrel relay champions. So in the fall in Bardstown, every single year, there's the Kentucky Bourbon Festival.
That's
So
really good.
in addition to doing different tastings, showcasing your brand or distillery, every Saturday there's also a barrel relay. So on our tour of the Rickhouse, we're going to see a little barrel rolling practice pad. Mimics exactly what a Rickhouse looks like inside. So when you roll in barrels, they have to roll and land on our cork facing up so they don't go into the ricks and maneuver them. It's called clocking, I believe. At what degree do I need to rotate and roll this barrel so that it lands facing up? So you do that well and quick and you get the largest banner the world's ever seen, I guess. Yeah.
So wait, rum isn't aged in the barrels, so they goes directly into the tanks?
Yeah, we're sending the rum directly to that contract client. Yeah.
Oh, they're not aging it.
In totes?
Yeah. Or
And-
actually, that might be tankers for them for how large
Wow.
it is. Yeah.
And then the distillate that comes out of the column still goes in there?
Exactly. Yeah. So that distillate will go into those cistern tanks, proof down to barrel entry proof. Generally, going to be 120, sometimes 125. Clients can choose that customization proof point to be anything that they would like. And then it'll fill up right here in front of us in those stainless steel pipes. Only takes about a minute to fill up that 53-gallon barrel. And that blue and gray coil you see there, place our hydraulic press over it. It'll automatically hammer that bung into place. And then generally most barrels that we're making on site say Bardstown Bourbon Company on them if they're produced for the brand or investors, brokers that have intent to resell. But if it's another brand or another distillery, they can have their logo printed on it as well here. Yeah, so what we just saw, 3 to 4 days, and then we'll go see the 3 to 4 years plus outside.
This way? Gotcha.
We're going to the iconic one.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Secret code.
Oh, wow.
Smells great.
And it's cool.
Wow.
it takes roughly 2 weeks for the temperature to regulate to what's going on outside, and it's been on and off between like 35 and 80 degrees here, so
It's so nice.
it's been confusing. But yeah, you can smell and breathe in that bourbon air, which is going to get even more concentrated in the summertime when it's more humid. But yeah, yeah, new
Best smell in the world.
Yeah.
Do all the Rickhouses have the same thing, like second floor and like the decor and everything like that?
Just this one, and then where that other group went into Rickhouse A. These are the only ones for tours. Everything else will look like this hallway. They won't have this front section or anything. But at the back, that metal wall, that's where our box truck will just roll back right into. And then mentioned earlier, there's no conveyor systems for actually rolling barrels. You just have these wooden train tracks here to kind of help guide the barrel throughout the hall. But to get the barrel to the second and third row, it's like a mini barrel lift, like a tiny forklift to get the barrel up there. Because lifting 500 pounds would be insane unless you were the Hulk. And I don't know that the Hulk is employed here. It'd be cool if he was.
And how many layers up is the
7.
floor? 7.
So 21 barrels tall.
Wow.
Yeah, this Rickhouse house is about 32,000 barrels, which is our mid-size one. The Rickhouse behind us, Rickhouse A, one of our oldest, that one house is about 24,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and all of our older ones too, you can see that they have that kind of uneven roofing for aesthetics. after a couple of years of building those, we knew we just need to maximize space as much as possible, especially with the growth of everything. But the largest that we can go up to and that we have gone up to is 58,800, which is the most you can max them out at.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
fill 2 rickhouses a year? Essentially. If you're doing it 100,000 capacity.
Yeah. Yeah, filling about 2 a year. Yeah, we're hoping to slow the build of the rickhouses. Of course, they're large capital expenditure. But too, after first years of distillation, I feel like it was really common for 4 and 6-year-old bourbon to be released. Now that's being pushed a little bit, so just storage is going longer. So we're still building them at that quicker cadence than we're wanting to. But eventually, there will stop. We'll stop the build of all these army barracks, and there will just be a couple. Would you guys like to try out of a barrel?
Oh yeah.
Why not? When in Rome. So feel free to grab a shot cup. So the lot number on this one is 21H06. So 2021, then we use the alphabet for the month. A, January, B, February, so on. So H is August 6th, 2021. It'll be 5 years old this year. Barrel entry proof 120, but it can vary a little bit up or down depending upon which floor it was pulled out of. This one, I'm not exactly sure, but the recipe's fairly standard. 75 corn, 21 rye, 4% malted barley.
Water fountain.
With a designated driver.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
What was the field date on this?
August
21.
6th, 2021.
2021.
It's young, but it's good.
Yeah, right?
I like it.
I like the finish of it. What's the 5K warehouse, by the way?
It's our logistics warehouse about a mile down the street. So we rent it out. It's it's in bond, just like the rest of our campus. So if you complete your bottling and you want long-term storage, you don't have to pay your FET on it until it actually leaves that campus. So just slowing cash flow a little bit and long-term storage if distribution doesn't need it quite yet.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we have most options there for dry goods and finished goods storage. If you just want to get it off your hands, get it from the warehouse, send it on in.
I feel bad throwing
Thank you.
this out.
All right.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
All right.
So we're heading into the bottling facility right now. That's where Bardstown Bourbon Company does all the bottling for its brands, all the contract bottling for some of the other brands that I'm not allowed to say, and I'm not allowed to take my camera in there because they have NDAs with the brands that they do bottling for. But yeah, it's nice to see all the behind the scenes. I might see a lot of brands that I might be shocked by, because I might think that those brands were doing their own bottling. It's a beautiful campus though, and I'm pretty surprised that they started just less than 10 years back, and they already have all of this, more than 700,000 barrels aging in this one facility.
One eternity later.
So behind me is the bar that is at the Bardstown Bourbon Company. This is probably the only distillery I've seen that has a bar with other bottles that is not bottled by them or made by them at the bar. They have quite a big selection. It's like a proper, standard, high quality bar. We're going into the old whiskey library of Bardstown Bourbon Company now. I was actually here to discuss some contract bottling. Yeah. Oh, no. I would love to have you here.
Well, we're going to pick up a couple of cases here and we'll be done in like 5 minutes. Why don't I give you a call and we'll just catch you wherever you are and we won't take too much of your time.
Sounds good, man. That was Rick.
Yeah. Did he already head out, I assume?
No, he said he's gonna call me once he's done 5 minutes.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, everything in here Obviously, the stuff on the back shelf is Bardstown, but everything else is just kind of paying homage to all those that came before us. Like I said earlier, we're not even 10 years old. We'd be naive to think that we'd be here without.
So that's the actual
Without
distillate
all
in there?
It's actual bourbon, yeah.
Wow.
Everything in here came to us full, so you can see a lot of them are empty. So when we're up and running Wednesday through Sunday at our main bar, you can order pours by the ounce. It ranges from $20 to over $2,000. That'll be those Van Winkles up here on this third top shelf.
Wow.
It used to be ordered in here chronologically. Now it's a little bit by brand house. So you see your Beams, your Makers, your Van Winkles, and Buffalo Traces, all those brand families. But in the back section there, you got our pre-Prohibition and Prohibition era bourbons and whiskeys.
We gotta
So
do something like this.
The top section, that really broken label with the pale yellow liquid, that's 1892 Cedar Brooks. It's the oldest stuff that we have.
This is the coolest looking bottle I've ever seen, bro. That's insane. Oh, and they have the Old Man Chessman too.
Yeah, this one actually says tablespoon every 3 hours. Jones Apothecary. So you
Somebody really had their tablespoons with them. Again.
yeah.
Wow.
Old
Japanese
man.
blended. Wow.
Japanese Blanton?
Well, Blattis was for the Japanese market originally.
Okay.
You guys are right there, I think, it's the black label.
This one?
Yeah.
Wow.
We can tell by the size, because there are
100?
yes.
Wow. This is cool.
Fortune. There's who is Rick Actor about that? Fortune American.
Which one?
That one.
Yeah, every time I come in here, I see something that I've never noticed before. I feel like you could spend weeks in here.
Then
Looking
the
at
Brook
products.
Maple Hill that they took out.
Black Maple Hill. yeah.
Black Maple Hill, yeah, that they bought out.
So we just got done with the tour. Pretty impressed with Bardstown Bourbon Company. I honestly blew me out of the park, blew my expectations by a little bit. So pretty happy with what I saw here. Shannon, what do you think of the trip?
Terrible.
Terrible?
The people that I'm with are so insufferable and difficult to navigate. I just don't know what to make of it. No, seriously, the trip so far has been absolutely amazing. This is a one-of-a-kind experience that I'm getting to have. It was wonderful to be at Bardstown. So clean, so efficient. Really
Clean, that's the word.
But yeah, amazing organization. I think there'll be a lot of good things that come out of here.
Yeah. AJ, what do you think?
It was 100% number one. Just to start, if you look at those are ricking the barrels. A new company that's ricking barrels, that's something you don't see every day. Very cool. A lot of customization that's happening within these rick houses, different mash builds, different yeast strains, the whole 9 yards. So it's really cool. One of a kind experience.
How about you, Harpon?
I mean, it is good bourbon. It's fun.